Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Q&A session on the 39th International Young Audience Film Festival Kino. My today's guest is Barbara Kronenberg, the director of the film Misja Ulji Funk. Hello. Your movie was something, I must say, and it's your debut, but we're back to this later. I found out somewhere that making the dreams come true is your specialty because you were bored once in your life and then you decide to do something else, something crazy, make movies. Why you decide to do it?
Well, yeah, it's I was a software developer after school, and I did that for about 5 years, and I always came to a point where I was really bored about it, and I couldn't imagine to do this job for the rest of my life. And I struggled a little bit because, of course, it was a very safe job and I had a good income and so on. But one day, boredom got so big that I decided to quit my job and started studying media production. And that was when I first came in touch with making films. So during my childhood and youth, I was writing a lot and painting, and also I did a lot of acting in theater here. And then I found out while I was studying media production that making films is the best combination of everything that I liked, like painting, writing, and acting. So yeah, that's where I found my passion. And then after that, I studied screenwriting and directing in Cologne. That is the answer.
Okay. I'm asking this because in some way, Ulja is this kind of person who chase the dreams, to drop everything and go with their legacy, I can say, because she want to name the asteroid. But okay, the Misja Ulji Funk is your debut, and the story is really crazy. You also write the story. When you write the story, you already think about how you make it on the screen, or you said, I go with the story, the screen, with the screenplay, and then now I need to make it. So it was difficult to put it on the screen, all the story.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, while we were shooting the movie or also doing pre-production, I of course noticed that it was much easier to write down that a car is driving from A to B. And when you shoot with cars, you find out it's not that easy because it takes a lot of time because a car can't just, listen and walk somewhere. There needs to be a driver in it, and I mean, kids can't just sit in a car and drive on their own. So that's, of course, a lot of a lot of things to keep in mind. And to be honest, and maybe that was because it was my first movie, I didn't think about that too much while writing it. And of course, when you shoot with children and with animals, there are also some things to keep in mind because they can't work a whole day like adult actors, for example. So there were a lot of challenging things while shooting it, also because it was a production from Germany, Poland, and Luxembourg. So we were also shooting in different countries and also in Germany in different regions. Yeah, maybe while writing it, I was a little bit naive, but I guess that's also, like the spirit when you make your first movie, you don't have so much experience, so the fear is a little bit less. But I also was encouraged by our producer, or the producer who was the first one on the movie, while writing, that she said, just write a good story and then the rest we will figure out how to do it. So
yeah, that's the spirit. Next time you will also decide to make such a crazy things, or now you are like little tempered down?
No, while we were shooting, I sometimes just was thinking that, oh, maybe next time I will only have one character and just sitting in a room and doing nothing. But imagine a 90-minute movie with one character doing nothing and just sitting there. It's very boring. So no, I think the next one will also have some crazy elements in it, and so. It's like pain. You always forget about how hard pain was.
Yeah.
And you just remember the good things. And I think that's then to keep our spirit alive to make another crazy thing.
Great. Okay, change the topic now. Your film touch the, how can I say, delicate matter of the faith versus science from the beginning. You just go straight into it. In the end, of course, in some more or less, it came out that faith and science can live in peace. Why you decide to get on this topic? Because it's not so popular in the young audience cinema.
Yes, I think you are right. And there might be two answers to this, because one thing is that, and I think that's where all the kids and also adults can relate to, that there is a character who has a passion, and then someone comes and tries to damage the passion and take everything away from her. And that's, I think, something where all of us can relate to in a way. So I didn't. So I wasn't afraid to choose something which is not so popular, a field or some kind of interest of a character. And then the other thing is that for me, the question, or the main question of the movie, is where do I belong to? And in a way, this whole family lives on a very small space, especially Grandma Olga and Ulja. They share this room, and they also they look into the same direction. Both of them are looking into the sky and see something there, but they see something totally different there. But in a way, both things exist next to each other. And also, it's a movie about friendship, and I think one very important thing in friendship, and also in family life and so on, is to accept the other one like he or she is. Like, someone can be really, really different from me and can have really different interests and believe in something very different, but I can also relate to this person and love this person like he or she is. So
okay, as you mentioned this relations, I add another thing which I can get from your film, because for me that this mutual experience between the characters cements their relations. That's also very important in your movie, what I get from your movie, because in the beginning there was like, they're not like each other a lot, but then the same experience, the road and all that things makes them being friends and really family. So maybe I jump to the question, because the road is important in this cementing relations. Why you choose to make it a road movie in 3 countries, like another big thing?
Well, there is one thing that Grandma Olga mentions in one scene, and she says, here in Germany we are always the Russians, and in Russia we were always the Germans. That's why we believe in God, because it's our home in a way, because we never found home here or there. Or she didn't find. And I think that's one thing that can be transferred to Ulja as well, because she lives in a family where she's like a little bit like an alien, and she doesn't really know where to belong to. And like a road, it's a trip back to Grandma Olga's youth in a way, or where she comes from. So that's a metaphor for the whole movie, and it's a journey that they are taking inside and also on the outside, you know. So that's why it became a road movie.
Okay. When we are on the road, you show us like a lot of crazy characters, like strange, very different, very I can't find the word, but like sometimes a little characters on the road that it's kind of important to the other characters. So we have this like a lot of stacking characters, but as they say, there must be some truth in every story. So tell us some stories about your characters, the real people behind those characters, the things you met, the people you met.
Well, I think we can, or this question might, I mean, it's maybe, let me think about it just a minute. So I think there's truth in each of the characters, because even though it's not a documentary, of course, and you know, like it's has a little bit like a comic style in a way, or it's like a little bit exaggerated, the movie or the characters are. I met some of the main characters in real life. So I once lived in a region where there's a huge community of Russian, German congregations with the same religion. And also my sister-in-law, she comes from she's a German or Russian, from a Russian German family, and in her family there are some people who belong to this kind of congregation. So but I mean, I wanted always to make a comedy, or like a comedy and not a drama, and I think that has something to do with my own view on the world. And I wanted to make a movie which is entertaining for children, and which encourage them to be brave and to fight for their own passions and so on. So that's why the characters are, in a way, they have some truth in them, but of course they are a little bit made up, of course. And yeah, some of the characters are really inspired by, or most of the characters are inspired by real people.
Okay, so the last question: what about the guy, the Pierogi King? You met the guy? Where can I buy this pierogi?
No, I met. Well, we made a trip to Poland for research while the story was in development, and one thing we noticed immediately was that everywhere you can eat really great pierogi, and that was something we get. So, you know, like we were such fans of your pierogi in Poland that somehow I thought we need to have this pierogi in the movie. And then, I mean, like when you go to to bigger cities, not only in Poland, but also in Germany and in other countries, you notice that a lot of people try to, you know, like make a startup in a way, and, you know, like become really huge with a small idea. And that's how this Pierogi King, this vegan Pierogi King came on the table. And I mean, also this guy is, I mean, he's looking for a place, you know, in a way, and looks what he can make, or tries to figure out what he can make out of his life, while he has maybe the most important at home, his wife and his newborn child then. So I don't know if the answer is very satisfying for you.
Yeah, because, you know, for me, he's in some way another dream chaser, like want to do something bigger than he's doing right now. But of course, as you say, he had the newborn child in the home, the wife, but pierogi is pierogi. Okay, that was my last question. Thank you. My guest was Barbara Kronenberg, director of the film Misja Ulji Funk. Thank you very much.
Thank you.